the Sacred Siren Circle, a sacred space for soul-led women ready to reclaim their voice, remember their power, and rise in sisterhood. I am your host, Marni Benninger, mama, soulpreneur, rebirth alchemist, Ayurvedic guide, and sacred space holder for women who are done living in silence. Each week, we gather in this circle to share stories, tools, and transmissions that awaken your feminine fire and help you live, lead, and love in alignment. So take a breath, drop in, and let your sacred siren rise. Hello, my beautiful sacred sister goddesses. I am so happy you have rejoined me here. I am so blessed that you feel called to come and listen to me and the magic I am bringing out into the world through you, through what you want to hear and who you are. And today was one I was a little bit nervous about. It is sharing my story, my how I came into the sacred siren. So let's start with, who the heck is the silent she? Who is this woman who I keep referring to? So the silent she was me, is me. I will never be over being the silent she, but she is the martyr. She is the overgiver. She is the one who silences her deepest desires to take care of everybody else's desires. She is the one who does not speak up in the bedroom when she is not receiving pleasure. She is the woman who just goes with what society wants her to be doing. She's the one who, might have a successful business on the outside, but is miserable on the inside. She's the one that stays in a situation because she's afraid, because she has never had to use her voice, or she's never been heard when she does use her voice. She is me. She is you. She is all of us. We have deep ancestral wounds of this unheard woman wound. It, comes from being silenced as women for so many years, for so long. It can also come from the witch wound, and that is a very strong wound that a lot of us still carry as well. And that wound is really because if we spoke our voices, we were persecuted. We were burned on the stake. If we were seen as too powerful, if we were seen as too in tune with ourselves, we were burned at the stake. We were, thrown in jail cells. We were banished. We were left alone. That is the silent she. So nowadays we really see her as like the martyr, the mother who, makes sure her kids' every need is taken care of, but yet she is in full burnout. Her nervous system is not even a nervous system anymore. It is so far gone that she doesn't even know how to bring her parasympathetic nervous system back online. She is just unheard. She is unbalanced. She may be sick. She may be having painful periods. She may be having womb wounds. So cysts and polycystic fibroids and, having that area removed, having all these kind of things happening because she has been unheard and unseen for so long. So that is the silent she. She is your mother, your sister, your friend. The patterns, like she might come out of it for a bit, but falls back into these patterns. She is she looks joyful most of the time. Probably on the outside, people would be like, I didn't even know anything was wrong. And that's because she's kept it all together. She's done it all. Even if she has an amazing supportive partner, oftentimes there's still a piece of her where she is not speaking up, where she is not being heard, where her sankalpa, her deepest desire, is not being met. And it might be that maybe she's in a career that is not in alignment with what she is here on this earth to do. Maybe she's in a relationship that she is deeply unhappy in that has not been what she wanted, what she needed. It might be, um, yeah. So, yeah. So she might just be any of those things. How it manifested for me as a silent she, I looked like I was this powerful woman that had her voice. I owned this, as I talked about in the previous episode, I owned this almost $1 million business. I had 40 employees working for me. Majority, probably 38 of them were females. I was a pillar in my community. I worked with nonprofits and charities. I sat on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I was doing all the right things. My personal life was a disaster. I have just separated from my partner. So at this time, it is April 5th of 2025, whatever year we're in, of 2025. And I have just officially separated, as in he has moved out from my husband. We had been together for 16 years. We have 3 amazing, beautiful boys together. But how I lost my voice is that right from the day I met him, right from when our relationship started, I silenced myself and became what he wanted me to be. And it is not on him. There are pieces that I will tell you in my story that is on him, for sure. But that part was not on him. I became interested in the things he was interested in. I was okay if he canceled plans last minute. I was okay if he didn't text me back when he said he was going to text me back. I was okay changing my plans with my friends to be able to see him because he asked me last minute to see him. I was one of those women. Yes, I was. Then, a year into our relationship, I found out he had a one-night affair. I had a one-night stand, and then continued an emotional affair with a woman. We had only been together for a year, but we had already been talking about like, okay, what's the future hold? Are we gonna, like, where are we going here? I was 27 at that point. Are we gonna get married? I knew I wanted to get married. I wanted to have kids. He necessarily didn't want those things. But then I opened up my Facebook Messenger and got a message from a woman that said, you don't know who your partner is. You don't know what he's been doing. Here's what's happened. And she went into all these details about their one-night stand and how they'd been talking. And she was pissed because he had cut off communication because he had decided to fully commit to me. And all of these things happen. Well, in my world at that time, I was like, I would never stay with someone who cheated on me. Never, ever. That'd be the one thing I could never forgive and put up with. Funny, the universe sometimes gives you those lessons to be like, really? Are you sure? Are you sure you wouldn't do that? So, no, I wasn't sure. We took time apart. We talked a lot. We went to therapy. We decided, he really wanted to try. He said he would change. All of these things. I am someone who is very forgiving. I believe in second chances. I believe we all make mistakes in this world. And I gave him a second chance. I was like, okay, we will see where this goes. We'll see how this goes. He moved in with me maybe 6 months later. We got engaged maybe a year after that happened. Maybe, can't quite remember. And then we got married 3 years into us having seen each other, or been seeing each other. And through our marriage, there was a lot of gaslighting. There was a lot of like, if I tried to express my feelings, it would get turned around on me. And there would be just a lot of, he would sometimes ghost me on things, even as a husband. I definitely silenced my voice, my desires, my needs to just provide for us, to just work through it, to just be the good wife, to be the good. Then our son came along, our oldest. So then it was just to be a good mother. Like, I went back to work 2 days after giving birth, like full on into my office back to work. Not just like how nowadays you can maybe just check in on your email or your staff from your computer. No. This was, 13 years ago. So I physically had to go in. Our software program did not work outside of there. So I physically had to go in. He would come with me to work. I would breastfeed him. My husband would call me when he needed to be breastfed. There was so much there. Like, I got no postpartum time. And when I learned about the Ayurvedic postpartum period, which is like a year after you give birth, I was like, oh my God, I want to have another baby just to be able to do it right. So anyways, fast forward, we had a second child. I was utterly miserable. It was at the peak of my business. I had 40 employees, was almost $1 million business. We had moved into what I thought was my dream location. My parents had invested over $250,000 to make this dream come true and reno this space to be just outstanding. And then my world shattered again. And I found out he had been having about a 9-month-long affair. And our children at this point were 4 years old and 2 years old, or around that. I think actually one was just about to turn 4 and the other one was 2. And he had been walking our dog at night and saying he was walking our dog and was going and sleeping with this woman and seeing this woman. And he actually decided we were over and left us and was going to be moving in with this woman and was going to be doing this, like having this life now with this woman and leaving us. And I was rocked to my core. I was devastated. I was crying all the time. There were points where I just wanted to walk off this face of the earth. Like, I just wanted to be done. I just wanted the pain to stop. I didn't want to live anymore. I lost some amazing employees because they couldn't handle not that they couldn't handle who I'd become, but because I was just a mess. And so things in the business weren't running well. And all of this. Well, then some things shifted, and a few months later, we started talking again, and I was terrified. I have now realized I was very codependent on him, as I had been codependent on my spa as well, and I have been codependent on my parents, and that is one of my karmic things I am working through in this lifetime is my codependency. And don't get me wrong, there are definitely things I did in our relationship. I was not perfect. I definitely was like the driven, like overworked, working all the time because I thought that's what I needed to do. And, I was disconnected from him. We hadn't had sex for a year. Like, there were all these pieces, 100% for sure. I don't condone cheating whatsoever. I'm just saying I wasn't perfect. He made that choice. I believe if someone's going to make that choice and you were in a monogamous relationship, if it is an open relationship, good on ya. Go for it. But if you're in a monogamous relationship, if you've made that agreement, then that's the agreement you should uphold. And so he made that choice instead of choosing to leave before he had this affair with her. Again, reminder, we're in a town of 11,000 people, so everyone knew her, everyone knew me, everyone knows him. It was a lot. One of my best friends, when he was like, I want to try again, and we started talking and we started just, I guess, exploring. She was like, you still love him. Like, what piece? Like, I get how big of a devastation this is. And could this be the thing that propels you guys forward, that changes it for the better? Could this be the thing that shatters everything? It's the Tower card in tarot, right? It's the break it all down to be able to build it back up. And I decided, yes, that this was the turning point for me, that this was going to be like what built us back up, and that this was going to be the amazing comeback story. But that's it. It wasn't my voice. It was that I wanted it to be this story. I wanted it to be this like persona. I wanted to be this amazing comeback. So we tried, and there was other emotional affairs. He did not have another physical affair after that, but there was other emotional affairs for another almost 8 years. where things happened. I was constantly, my trust never came back to him. We just never did the repair work properly. We never reconnected the way we needed to. We both saw psychologists and therapists and counselors and did all this kind of stuff. We never healed our deep rooted stuff. And so we got into bad routines. And a year ago, I very much came into my own. I came back into my voice, because what I realized had happened is I had silenced my voice for the 16 years I had been with him. I'm sure it was like for the last 40 years, 41 years of my life, I had silenced my voice. So not just with him. It was just I was an overgiver. I was a people pleaser. I was a lifelong people pleaser. I was a unheard woman. I was just like, I just have to make everyone happy. I just have to give it my all. And it stemmed from unworthiness, really. I felt like I wasn't worthy of having my desires fulfilled. I felt like I didn't need to speak up if I wasn't orgasming, because that just is what life was. Like we just did it, right? Like you just kind of went along with it, because why not? I didn't need to say I was so miserable in my business, because it was bringing us income. It was bringing us a good income, a great income. I looked like I was living my life's dream, right? And then we had our third child as well. And then a year ago was when everything shifted. When both of those businesses closed down and they were no longer part of my identity, I really had to sit with like, who the heck am I? What do I want? And that's when I explained in the last episode how Sankalpa was born. But it also had to be like, who am I? Who is this person that keeps not speaking up? Who is this person who is scared to show what she does in the world? And I had to really think about, like, who am I? And like, what has this cost me not speaking up? What does this cost me mothering through this trauma, being betrayed? Yeah. And it was this moment last spring. It was around the same time of year, but in 2024, where I had this moment. I was out in nature. I think I was swimming, to be honest, in Silverton, this beautiful lake, where I was like, oh, I remember her. I remember who she used to be. I remember who I meant to be. I remember. And it was this coming home. It was like all these pieces of me just flew back into me. And I mean, I've worked with a lot of mentors to get to this point, and that is who we'll be bringing on to into these circles, to like bring the pieces of me back home. But they all finally landed back with me. And I went, I need to speak up. I need to voice my truth. And so in the fall of last year, I gave him a choice. I said, you either have to step up and I need you to do more. I need my desires, my voice to be heard. I need to not be gaslit. We need to heal this trauma. We never have healed this infidelity trauma. I need to heal these relationship wounds I'm holding on to. And I'm so willing to do this work if I'm met. At the end of last year, he decided no, he was done. It was too much. There was too much water under the bridge. He had hurt me too much. And that I had just become someone that he didn't know. And that hurt me when he said that. He was like, I don't know who you are anymore. I read oracle cards. I meditate in the morning. I do yoga. I, talk to the divine. I go into the feminine flow. I want the witchy world. I'm using herbs to heal. I fully became me. And so it hurt when someone said that you thought you loved with your whole heart. It hurt when someone said, I don't know who you are. I don't love this version of you. And I don't want to be in this relationship with you anymore. It took us 3 months to unravel. He just moved out. But today actually is the first day. He moved out last night, actually. We've been separating and doing all the things for the last few months. But he actually physically moved out, and today was the first day I felt like myself. I didn't have to worry about walking on eggshells. I didn't have to worry about what kind of mood I would have to to deal with and to navigate in order to keep the peace and to like make everybody in the household happy. And I didn't have to worry about who he was talking to on his phone, what was being said on the phone. I didn't have to worry at the end of the day. It's a beautiful, like, sunshiny day out as well, which was like so beautiful that the universe conspired to have a beautiful weather day on this day when I feel lit up. I feel like the sacred siren. I feel ready. I am calling in all of the abundance, all of the love. I am calling in everything for all of us. And I am so excited for this next phase because I am so ready to share all of my magic and all of my doings and all of the going ons and all of these wonderful people who've helped me on my journey. And I just can't wait to share it with all of you. And I hope maybe that some of my pieces of my story resonate with you, that some things might be like, oh, that happened to me, or I'm still dealing with that, because that's why I share my story, because I'm great and I'm the sacred siren and I'm ready to have you be the sacred siren with me. So subscribe, like, comment, join me on this journey, and you are going to be so excited for what's to come. I cannot wait to see you. Comment, let me know who you want me to bring in, or what you want to know more about or learn about. But there is so much magic coming and I cannot wait to share it with you. So I look forward to seeing you on the other side, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are.